Hey there, welcome to Mind Habits. Have you ever been in a room full of people and noticed that one person becomes the center of attention? This person has the perfect balance of everything. They're effortlessly intelligent, funny, and caring. You stand mesmerized by this person. Do you want to know what this is called? It's charisma. Let's be real. We'd all love to be more charismatic. But the question is how? So here's the key to becoming more charismatic. Researchers have found that some of us have a natural ability to be charismatic. People with extroverted personalities have an easier time being charismatic. But you know what? Even they have learned from role models along the way. This is why experts believe everyone can become more charismatic by perfecting some specific social skills. So the moral of the story is that even introverts who struggle with socializing can learn to be more charismatic. Charisma is your ability to persuade and influence others through your communication. Things like confidence, assertiveness, a passionate voice, optimism, and exuberance combined with how you speak, your choice of words, and how you look when you speak are all ingredients in the secret recipe to becoming more charismatic. Number 1, warmth and sincerity. According to author Vanessa Van Edwards' book on body language, she writes that there's actually an extremely short window of time for us to make a good first impression. That window of time is just 5 minutes. People will assess whether you're trustworthy or not in the first 5 minutes of meeting you. Needless to say, those short 5 minutes are critical. According to Van Edwards, you're viewed as being warm if you come across as approachable, understanding, and caring. Obviously, some people are naturally warmer than others. People like Martin Luther King Jr., Oprah, and Barack Obama are synonymous with charisma. Their warmth is part of what we perceive as charisma. So the question is, if you're not naturally a warm person, how can you project warmth and increase trustworthiness? There are 3 things you can try. Research has shown that making eye contact, occasionally nodding in agreement, and smiling are key indicators of warmth. There's actually another way. Try using what the researchers call superfluous apology. This is when you say sorry to express regret over the hardships faced by another person. I'm sure you already do this. You know when you say, "I'm sorry about your mother passing," or "I'm sorry your boss is so mean to you." Obviously, you didn't cause their hardship, but this is a great way to show that you understand their experience and hope things would have turned out better for them. This is also a great way to increase trust. Researchers at the Harvard Business School and Wharton tested this theory. They sent a male undergraduate student to the train station on a rainy day. He was instructed to ask the people there to borrow their cell phones. He ended up asking about 65 people. He used the superfluous apology 50% of the time and started with, "I'm sorry about the rain," followed by a request to borrow their cell phone. Amazingly, nearly 50% of the people he used the superfluous apology with allowed him to use their cell phones, while about 9% did not. So give these techniques a try, not just to increase your warmth, but also your charisma with it. Number 2, competence. Warmth alone will not make you more charismatic. You also need to be perceived as competent. According to Van Edwards, competence is your ability to lead. In other words, can you do what you say you can do? Think of people like Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs. They don't mess around. They know precisely what they want, and they know how to get things done. They are not pretending to be competent. They are competent. But be careful not to be overly competent, because people who are only competent are often perceived as intimidating and unapproachable. To be genuinely charismatic, you need to learn how to balance being warm and competent at the same time. So, if you want to have a magnetic personality that everybody gravitates to, it's crucial that you learn how to show competence along with warmth. Number 3, humility. Research has found that only about 10 to 15% of adults score highly on humility. So let me ask you a question. Are you humble? That was a trick question. People who claim to be humble are often not humble. They're simply bragging about being humble. If you want to be genuinely charismatic, humility is the way to go. This is because humility is an extremely likable quality in people. Truly humble people are modest. No matter how much of a big deal they may be, they don't see it that way. They don't see themselves as important. This makes them treat everyone the same. To them, the janitor they pass by on the way to work is as important as the company president. Number 4, know your strengths. Charismatic people are self-aware. They know what they're comfortable with and in what circumstances. Imagine forcing yourself to network at a large conference with complete strangers when you find it really stressful to be in a crowded place. If you're uncomfortable at an event like that, it'll be difficult for you to turn on the charm. The difference between someone charismatic and everyone else is that charismatic people know their strengths and they know how to play into them. If you're the type of person who enjoy getting to know people in low-stakes settings, then lean into that strength. You'll be perceived by others as more charismatic when you're truly comfortable and self-aware. According to Van Edwards, these spaces are called thrive spaces or social sweet spots. Number 5, be a listener. Charismatic people are good listeners. This is unsurprising, given that humility is a key characteristic of charismatic people. Think about it. How often do you listen actively? Even with our close family members or friends, we sometimes tune them out. Active listening is not as easy as we think. It requires you to value everyone equally, listen to what they have to say, and most importantly, respect what they have to say. When people know you're actively listening and hearing what they have to say, they begin to trust you and feel more inclined to share. If you want to level up your active listening skills, here's a tip you can try. According to body language expert Vanessa Van Edwards, you can try what she calls the triple nod. If you struggle to keep a conversation active, once the other person is done speaking and takes a pause, do the 3 nods in quick succession. This will often be a cue for the other person to keep talking. Charisma isn't about being the loudest or being the most outgoing person in the room. It's about authenticity, empathy, and connecting with people around us in a meaningful way. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Let us know your thoughts about charisma in the comments below. As always, spread loving kindness to all beings around you and be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you for watching. See you next time.